Hey ladies, happy Friday. I just wanted to come in today, welcome our new members, glad to have you here. And I also wanted to give and do a little video on 2-week wait tips. That always seems to be something that's very popular. I do have a post about it, but I figured I would just come in, go over some tips with you on video. So these 2-week wait tips are good for you whether you are doing trying naturally or whether or not you're doing IUI or IVF. So there are a couple of tips, like this first one that I'm going to give you is for women that are having IVF. So one of the things, and your doctor will probably tell you to not wear any perfume or heavily scented shampoos or anything the day of your transfer. And actually my husband and I won't use any perfumed or anything with fragrances the day before transfer, embryo transfer, the day of transfer, and the day after. I've actually never got to ask the doctor why embryos don't like fragrance, but I think it just has to do with it's a very sterile room. So just like you wouldn't go into surgery wearing makeup and all those things, it'd be the same for that. So that's tip number one when it comes to IVF, is not to wear any type of fragrance products. Number two, whether trying naturally or through IVF, the one really important thing, and it comes from Chinese medicine, is to keep your feet warm at all times. They say that the feet are connected to the uterus, and if your feet are cold, then your uterus can be energetically cold as well. So keeping the feet warm with socks or slippers is really, really good for you to do. It's something that I try to have on at all times. You do want to just keep warm in general. So if you're feeling a little bit cold, then definitely have a sweater with you, ready to just kind of keep you warm, keep you toasty. However, you do not want to put any warm compresses on the lower abdomen, and no baths and no swimming. So no hot baths, no hot tubs, and no swimming. So that is another tip for you to use. So basically it's just about keeping the uterus warm, but without directly applying any heat to it. The third tip is to eat homemade soups, stews, and decaffeinated warm drinks. So you want to make sure, again, it's the same thing. It's like keeping the feet warm, keeping the body warm. Soups and stews are very warming. They're good for the heart. They're good for the soul. They make you feel good. They're very comforting. And to have cooked vegetables. The reason being not raw vegetables and salads is because, again, they're energetically cold. And so it just leads, again, for the uterus to be cold. So keeping away from any raw foods, keeping away from icy drinks. So everything that you would take, that I would put in my body, would mostly be on the warm side or room temperature, and definitely really no salads and things like that during this time. Another thing that you can do, and especially a little bit more for IVF, is to drink an electrolyte drink during the 2-week wait, and that keeps down the uterine spasms which can occur, especially after an IVF transfer, because they are putting a catheter in. So you can have some contractions of the uterus, and what we want when we're having an embryo transfer is to keep that uterus really nice and calm. So an electrolyte drink, one that I like to use, is called Nuun tablets. It's N-U-U-N. You can get them at the health food store. They don't have any sugar in them. So they're pretty on the natural side, and I have about a quart of that each day. And my favorite is strawberry lemonade, in case you wanted to know. So that's another great thing. Keeping out, especially you don't really want to have Gatorade, because that has a lot of sugar and dyes, and that's just not something that you want for your body. Another great thing too, my 5th tip, is to do meditation. If you have the option of going to Circle and Bloom, they have an amazing meditation for if you're having IVF, for IVF, or even for a natural pregnancy. Keeping calm during the 2-week wait is not always the easiest thing to do. And so sometimes even when we think we are being calm, we have a lot back going in the subconscious mind. So taking the extra time for yourself, taking the 10 or 15 minutes at night before you go to bed is such an amazing way to just really get in some calming vibes for yourself, and to really help with implantation, and really visualizing exactly what you want to have going on inside your body. Another thing I would do is to, if you haven't already, I would really eat whole foods, removing fried foods, removing sugar, excess sugar from your diet. You want to eat as much as a whole natural diet as possible, removing carbohydrates like white flours, white potatoes, white sugar, and really beefing up on things like on fiber and protein, chicken, vegetables, sweet potatoes, things like that. So that's really important for you, is to increase those good foods, because that's exactly what you would do if, when you're pregnant. And so treating the body as if, not drinking alcohol, not having coffee. I think they're also not something physical to do, but something in your mind, acting as if pregnant. And I think that's really important during that 2-week wait. For me, I get very nesty during that time. So those are the rules that I try to follow for myself. Laugh and have a good time. The 2-week wait is, again, stressful. So doing things like watching funny movies, having a good time with friends, seeing friends and family, taking up a hobby or something. Maybe you like to do crafting. Maybe you like to make jewelry. And so I think in our daily lives, whether we're trying to conceive or not, we're kind of always doing things and not taking care of ourselves. So if there's some self-care that you need to do during that time, like maybe it's getting your hair cut, maybe it's going for a massage, again, maybe it's taking up a hobby, maybe it's journaling, everything that you're going through or what your thoughts are, or maybe it's a letter to your future child. I think that's something that's absolutely amazing to do. If negative thoughts creep in, you kind of want to get yourself back to a positive mindset. If there's any mantras that you've set for yourself, knowing that things will happen at the perfect time, in divine timing. And so that's something that has kept really anxiety away from me and has really kept my faith up in knowing that I will be a mother. So that's something that actually does take practice and instilling in yourself and practicing. So having gratitude every day is really important. Another thing that you will see in other groups or searching on Pinterest or online are things like eating pineapple core or drinking pomegranate juice or Brazil nuts. I won't say they're the silver bullet on things, but they definitely, a lot of women do them. A lot of women have success with them. So it's definitely something that you could try. Having a couple of the core of the pineapple. So you have the pineapple and usually have that hole in the center that's been removed. That's actually the part that you want to eat. It has bromelain in it and it's said to help with implantation. So again, not the silver bullet, but definitely something that you can try and use, and I bet it's super tasty. I can't have pineapple because I'm allergic. So for me, I stick with the soups and the stews, and yes, I forgot to mention spicy foods. So that's another thing to just really keep the body warm, keep the stomach warm, and get that good energy going. So when I have our soups and our stews during this 2 weeks, I like to add in cayenne pepper, chili flakes. We might go for sushi. I'll have not raw fish, but cooked, and I'll put extra wasabi on it. And so that's another thing that just keeps the body nice and warm. There's also things, like I said, pomegranate juice that you could drink about 8 ounces a day, though I would watch your sugar content. And there was another one, and I can't remember it now. So those are some of the things that you can try and see how that works for you. Otherwise, those are my tips for the 2 weeks wait. I can't believe I've never done a video on this, but yeah, I think that's about it. If there's anything else I could think of, I will post it in the comments below. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you love this, please give me some hearts and let me know that you enjoyed this video. And that's it for now. I'll see you ladies next time, okay? Bye.